Welcome to day 1 class of Base SAS training. So the very first thing that we'll cover here today is we're going to do briefing of the downloaded files. So all the files that we have asked you to download, the softwares, the learning materials, I'll be briefing you a little bit about all those files so that you know what to do with them. And then we'll be covering some theory part here. So what we do on the very first day, before we move on with the practical class, we recommend our candidates to cover some theory part. So I'll be telling you later where to read and learn from. And then we will do introduction to the SAS software. So I'll be explaining to you about the SAS software, its features and all. And then we will be covering the basics of SAS. We'll be running some basic commands such as data command and proc command. So we'll start today's class. I'll first of all brief you on the downloaded files. So what you're seeing here is this folder. Now in this folder, we have everything that we have asked you to download. So what I'll do here is I'll brief you a little bit about whatever we have asked you to download so that you know what to do with it. So in here, all these, apart from learning materials, all these are 3 different versions of the SAS software. The reason we ask you to download all 3 is because we never know what kind of operating system you're using. So depending on the kind of operating system you're using, we'll be installing either one of these softwares here. And then we have learning materials. In learning materials, we have assignments, codes, learnings. I'll go through them one by one. So first of all, we have assignments here. Now in assignments, we have this answers folder and all these Word documents here. So what we do after every day's practical class, starting from day 2 onwards, because day 1 we hardly covered practical, we just cover theory and do the software installation. So from day 2 onwards, we do the practical class. So after every day's practical class, we give you a few assignments to do. So whatever assignments we ask you to do will all be based on whatever we learn on that day's class. So you'll be able to do them. You can try them out. If you're not able to do it, no problem. You can come to the answers folder here and check all the assignment answers. Because sometimes you'll be surprised that you understand the question, you know how to answer it, it's just that you don't remember the exact codes yet. But that's natural and that will come with time and practice. So for every day's assignment answers we have given you. Then we have codes. In codes we have SAS trainings and SAS videos. Now in SAS videos we have 3 short-lived videos. Now these 3 short-lived videos here just brief you a little bit about what SAS is all about, who needs to learn SAS and all the basic SAS. Very self-explanatory videos. So what I'll do here is I'll play you these 3 short-lived videos. You can just sit back and watch them. So I'll play you the first video here. Alright, now I'll play you the second video here. Now I'll play you this last video here. So now those were the 3 short-lived videos I wanted to show you here. So you can watch these videos. They are all in the codes folder. You can watch them again whenever you want to. And we have SAS trainings here. Now in SAS training, we have basic. In basic, we have all these text files. Now in these text files here, we have all the codes. These are all the codes we'll be working on and learning from. We've given these codes to you as well so that when you practice, you can refer to these codes to remember and learn the codes faster. We have given all the codes for each day's class. And then we have learnings. Now I'll come to the learnings folder. First of all, I'll go here to this resume. Now this is another text file here. Now this is something important for someone who wishes to apply for any research related job. So what I'll do here is I'll first of all tell you what you have to do, and then I'll explain to you why you have to do them. So what you'll do is you'll create 2 folders in your desktop. So you don't have to do that now. You can do it later also. You'll create 2 folders in your desktop. You can give any name to your folders. Let's say you give the name folder 1 and the other one folder 2. So now what you'll do is you'll come here to this resume. You'll open this. You'll select from summary till business research exactly as it is, copy this and paste it as a text file or a Word file in the folder 1. And then the second time, if you see here, I've highlighted this XP dot. Now I'll just remove the full stop after XP here. And this time I'll select again from summary till business research, this time without the full stop. I'll copy this and paste it as a text file or a Word file in the folder 2 this time. So now you have created 2 copies of this file, one with the full stop, the other one without the full stop. So now you might have already updated your resumes in these websites such as Naukri, Time, Shine, Monster and all these websites. So what you'll do, you'll log into these websites. So we recommend you do this during the weekdays and do it during the working hours, especially morning time. That is one of the times these recruiters, HR coordinators sit down to look for applications from potential candidates. So when you log into these websites, let's say you log into these websites around 9 or 10 in the morning on a weekday, you'll log into these websites, you'll open the folder 1. If you remember, folder 1 includes a full stop. So you'll open folder 1, you'll select from summary till business research, copy that and paste it in the summary part in these websites, whichever one you're using. And then you save that, and then you scroll down to where it says attach your resume, and this time you'll upload the folder one which includes a full stop. And then you can save that, and then you can log out of these websites. So what you'll do after 1 or 1.5 hours again, you'll log into these websites again. This time you'll open the folder 2. If you remember, folder 2 doesn't include a full stop. You'll open folder 2. You'll select again from summary till business research from folder 2. Copy that and paste it again in the summary part in these websites, whichever one you're using. And then you save that, and again you scroll down to where it says attach your resume. This time you'll upload the folder 2 which doesn't include a full stop, and then you save that again and you can log out of these websites. So now that is one session, doing one with the full stop, the other one without the full stop. That is one session. So we recommend you do this at least 2 to 3 sessions in a day, and do it during the working hours, because it will not make sense if you log into these websites after 6 in the evening, because that is not the time these recruiters, HR coordinators are working. So we recommend you do it during the working hours. So now the reason we ask you to upload the file with the full stop, the other one without the full stop, is because a lot of people, when they think of updating their resume, they think of updating their educational qualification, updating their experience. But what most people don't understand is that updating a phone number, updating an address is also an update. All these websites, they work on a system is a computer, it doesn't understand what you have updated. So when you log into these websites the first time, you upload the file with the full stop. By the way, these are all the things we will be teaching you in this course here, so you can just update this in your resume. So when you upload the file with the full stop, it shows in these websites that you have recently updated your resume. And what that will do is it will push your application to the top of the list, because recently updated resume gets pushed to the top of the list. And what that will do is it will increase visibility there. You're more likely to be seen by these recruiters, HR coordinators, and contacted by them. So now during that 1 hour or 1.5 hours, a lot of people in India would have updated their resumes as well. Thousands and thousands of people do the same thing every day. So what that does is it pushes your application down the list again, because these recently updated resumes gets pushed to the top of the list. So it pushes your application down the list. So this time when you come back, you upload the file without the full stop. The computer will not know what you have updated. It just knows that this file that you are uploading now is not the same one which you did an hour ago, because an hour ago it includes a full stop. This time it doesn't include a full stop. So the computer will acknowledge it as an update, and it will show again in these websites that you have recently updated your resume again, and it will push your application to the top of the list again, and that will increase more visibility there, and you'll be more likely to be contacted and seen by these recruiters here, because a lot of people don't update their resumes in 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 year. So that shows lack of interest. So when you keep doing this 2 to 3 sessions in a day, and you do it every day during the weekdays, it will keep on showing in these websites that you have recently updated your resume. So what that does is it shows to these recruiters, HR coordinators, that you're very much interested and available in whatever job you're applying for. So they'll be more likely to be contacting you. So maybe if you start this practicing every day on a weekday, so maybe within a week's time, you'll start getting some relevant responses from these recruiters, HR coordinators, from all these websites here. So I'll close this now. And then we have SAS interview questions here. Now in this SAS interview questions, we have all the common questions which are commonly asked in an interview. Now in this SAS interview question, we have included all questions about basic and advanced SAS. So what we'll do, we'll not open this as of now, because it will not make sense as we haven't learned anything. So we will be working on the SAS interview questions on the very last day. We'll be going through the question and answers together so that you understand how these questions are framed and how you need to answer them. And then we have this to be read section. Now this is another text file here. Now similarly, like how we asked you to do some assignments, we'll also be giving you a few things to read. Like for example, after today's class, after day 1 class, you'll have to read from the SAS presentation, pages 1 to 30, from the training handouts, pages 1 to 3, and from the little SAS book, chapter 3.4, 3.5, and 3.1 in the order that's mentioned here. Now similarly, you can do that after day 2 class, after day 3 class, and after day 4 class. Now all these books that we've mentioned here, the SAS presentation, the training handouts, the little SAS book, all these books you can find them in the learnings folder. Now when I open the learnings folder, you'll find the first and the last file. These are the only two Excel files here. You don't need to read or learn anything from these two files here. These are actual data. So we normally use these files in the class when we learn about importing and exporting. We've given these files to you as well so that you can use them as sample data to practice. And then we have proc, SQL, SAS macros. So now these are the two books of advanced SAS here. After you're familiar with basic SAS, if you want to learn further, you can refer to these two books from here. And then we have the SAS presentation, the SAS certification, the little SAS book, and the training handouts. So all the books that we have mentioned in the to be read section, you can find all of those books here. They are all in the learnings folder. So those are all the things that we have asked you to download. So now you know what to do with it. All right. So what we'll do now is on the very first day, we recommend our candidates to cover some theory part before we move on with the practical class so that they have some knowledge on the topics that we'll be covering in the practical class. So you'll open the learning materials, you'll go to the to be read section. You can do the reading from the SAS presentation pages 1 to 30 and from the training handouts pages 1 to 3. Now the SAS presentation and the training handouts are in the learnings folder. The SAS presentation is this PowerPoint here. I'll open this. Now this is a SAS presentation here. You can read this from slide 1 till slide 30. You can see the number of slides from here. So now we recommend our candidates to follow some rules when reading. And those rules are, you read it one time. If you're not able to understand the first time you're reading, you read it again the second time. Then if you're not able to understand the second time, then just move on to the next slide. Because whatever we ask you to read, don't worry. If you're not able to understand whatever we ask you to read, we'll be practically working on them in the practical class. And you'll find out after the practical class, if you go and read this again, you'll be able to understand better. So that's why the first time you're reading, we don't want you to waste your time to keep on reading. We just want you to know what we'll be covering in the class. So you can read this from slide 1 to slide 30. After you're done with this, you can read from the training handouts. Now I'll open this. You can read this from pages 1 to 3. You can see the number of pages from here. So on the very first day, we give our candidates at least 30 minutes to cover some reading. So you can start with the reading. After that, you can move on to part 2 of day 1 class.